What's up, everyone, and greetings from the U.N.A.S.S Midwatch podcast. I'm Rob. I play Chief Master Gunny Doom.
And I'm Chris. I play Second Sergeant Leon. We just want to take a moment and talk about the stress that comes up during the holidays.
So between the two of us, we have about 38 years of military experience. Believe me when I tell you that our job is hard. It is no secret that the suicide rates are too high across the military.
And that during the pandemic, these numbers have risen. With the holidays around the corner and the restrictions we have, we need to be looking out for each other more than ever.
Believe me, if you are out there and you're listening to this or you're an earshot of someone cares about you and wants to help you through this rough time.
There are so many resources out there that you can turn to for help. Military One Source, Military Crisis Line, National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, military.com, TRICARE, your chaplain, your chain of command, anyone. Ask for help.
You're not alone in this fight. Many of us deal with mental health issues every day. The old saying holds true about carrying burdens. You just tell one person, it's 50% of that burden off your shoulders. Tell two more, it's down to a quarter. Remember, talk to people.
For the rest of the holidays, we will post websites and phone numbers within our show notes for ways you can get help and help each other.
Remember, watch each other's six out there. Stay safe. Stay U.N.A.S. strong.
Anyways, did y'all see that article on that lady in Texas about the castle law, how she wants to revoke it?
Is the castle law like the stand your ground law?
It is.
Oh.
So
They had that in Colorado.
So she said that when a burglar breaks into your home and they're armed, that is to deter you to flee your home so they don't have to harm you. So she
Flee
thinks
my home?
to flee your own home so they can pillage whatever they want.
I can see that.
She thinks
You
that's
can
their
see
right.
that? Like, you agree with that?
Well, yeah, we just had training on it the other day. Like, the process for a shooter situation is to run, hide, and fight, right?
That's
so
at work.
Yeah, that's at work. That's way
That's
different.
not at your home.
That's my home. When
No,
I have the
but
means
you better
to
be
defend
safe
myself.
than sorry. If it can get out the back door and jump a fence, I am just as safe.
I'm not
and we
jumping
don't have to
anything because I'm
resort
on the
to
second
violence.
floor where I sleep,
But even then, even still, you have the ability to
right next to my guns.
elude the home invader and then keep you and your children safe.
So that's where I see that a problem.
Yeah, me too.
is I think that people who think that it's okay to flee because the burglar says to, which, by the way, they're not going to tell you to flee. They're gonna be like,
No, it should be
okay,
an instinctual
there's
response.
a gun. There's a gun to your face. You're going to run. No, you're just going to sit there. I think the people that think that they're going to flee has never, ever been into a situation where they've had to protect themselves or any other person.
That's true, but I think instinctually you'll want to get out of that situation. Because if you think about it, when there is a confrontation, right, nobody wants to find a confrontation or a conflict.
I don't know.
But
I know
there
plenty of
is
people that do.
There is a fight, flight, or freeze. 2 out of 3 of those require you to not fight back. And I think that the statistics show that it's much safer to either stay put and listen, to his plans or his or her plans and be obedient, or flight, which
I
is
think
to
if a bad
evade
guy's
the
going to start
situation.
monologuing, this is the time where I break out of the hold that he has over me, and before the laser cuts me,
But
I fight back.
the revoking of the law is not for the homeowner. It's for the safety of the person burgling the house. That's the reason she wants to revoke this castle law.
Explain.
Well, she says they're bringing the gun to deter them from getting shot by the homeowner. That's why they're armed. When
So
they
it's
burgle the
okay.
house.
So what
they are
she's saying
bringing a
is it's
gun for
okay.
their self-defense.
Yes.
It's
from-
okay for
from the
them
homeowner.
to break and enter your home while you're home or not, but it's not okay for you to react to that situation other than run.
That's
But-
what she's saying.
Don't you think that we can all come to such a mutual understanding that maybe nobody brings guns and we can just avoid this whole situation to begin with?
We will have a mutual understanding. They break into my house, they're going to get 357 SIG rounds in the middle of their chest.
So you're
That's a
saying
mutual
if we
understanding that
revoked
we have.
the gun laws and took guns away from law-abiding citizens and then tried to take guns away from criminals, because you're not going to take them away.
No.
Most of theirs are bought
we're
on the
not
street.
going to take them away.
No.
The plan is to pay them as it's not even a compensation, but it's a turn-in procedure that we can provide compensation to them for their troubles. And I think that ultimately burglaries and home robberies will be
Going up.
safer.
Don't they do that already? How's that worked out
How's
so
a
far?
safer burglary going on?
Because nobody's getting shot. It's just
No, they're
stuff.
just getting stabbed now.
No,
which
it's
is way
just
more
stuff.
violent than being shot.
Yeah, I've never heard of a turn in your knives program.
No, but if you get stabbed, you can heal those wounds, or you can go get towel. I
yeah.
doubt the burglary's taking your towel, so you have something to apply pressure while you call for the police.
So if you get your throat slit, you're going to put pressure,
I mean, there's always a risk.
take some Motrin,
right? There's always a risk, but I guess
drink
in
some
my
water,
mind,
change your socks, call the police.
No, I view it as a fact. Like, clearly this individual is conducting home robbery for a reason. I don't know what that reason is. We don't have time to figure that out, but I have something they want. If they get it, then they can leave. And it's just stuff. It's replaceable for me. Now they too have it, and basically we're both happy after
Okay.
that.
So let's say this person breaks in.
Okay.
Get your stuff.
Yes.
Part of that stuff is your kid.
Why would they want my kid?
They don't have one. You have it. They don't.
They want to sell it on the black market.
Or also your wife. They want your wife.
Oh, they can take that. That's fine. No, but I guess there's somewhere there has to be a line drawn, but ultimately, I feel
there is a
if they're
line.
targeting
Don't break into
human
my house.
beings,
Yeah.
that's a different.
It's my property line.
I don't know. I just feel like there's a much better way to approach these types of situations.
All right, here's another one for you, hypothetical. What about somebody that has a dog that kills said bad guy in the house?
The dog should probably be arrested.
You gonna take him to the puppy pound?
Well,
To
I
the
mean,
dog pound?
until we figure it out and tried by a jury of his peers. The same procedure. Why are you guys laughing?
The barks have it.
All in favor?
Yeah.
One rough.
What's up, nerds? What are you guys talking about?
Oh, hey, what's up, man?
Stand your ground.
Oh,
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Have
I'd
you-
say-
You guys really got Chris talking about this, didn't you?
Yep,
Oh.
sure did.
Did he tell you the thing about the dogs?
The trial by your
Yeah,
peers,
yeah,
he
yeah.
did.
Mm.
Who's this guy?
You know,
Fuck is that smell?
I've been crapping, man.
You've been
What?
cramping?
Oh, pause.
Crapping?
Crapping. Remember,
Crapping.
remember in the old military it was cranking?
Oh. You smell like you've been crapping your pants.
That's
Why have you been doing
accurate. Accurate, yeah.
Why are you crapping?
I don't know. So
So
pause,
wait.
Pause, right? So last week, right?
You were supposed to be going to a school.
I'm aware. Last
you didn't
week,
go.
I was supposed to go to the school. I had gotten a notification on my Midwatch that had changed the stuff for the school again. I got a little upset and might have yelled at my wristwatch. And next thing I know, I got a notification saying that I got removed from my division and was going to go crapping.
Wait, no. Chief Master Gunny had told me that this was happening and I needed to adjust the paperwork, but I thought he meant to go to school again.
That's what I thought. And then I get sent crapping.
For how freaking long? We can't afford that manpower.
I have not a clue.
What the fuck is... Why are we calling it crapping? What is
So,
that?
I got told today, I'm trying to remember this for sure, but I think it's cafeteria reserve augment personnel, like crap, and they just call it you go crapping.
I mean, that does sound like a pretty crappy job. So
It's
very
fucking
fitting.
terrible, I'll be honest with you.
Well, it smells shitty.
It does.
You
And for
smell
this
like
guy,
a
by
grease
the way,
trap.
I honestly don't know. I talked to him for like 15 seconds earlier today, and he's kind of just been walking around. So he had a what are we calling the pin on our chest now that we can get the warfare device? Is it the ESAG?
Sure.
Right. He had one of those
Sage. Is it
PQSs
SAG
earlier.
or
Maybe
Sage?
he's down here to do that. I don't know.
Is it SAG or Sage?
Sag. E-sag.
E-Sag.
Sage, I think, would have an E after.
Or gas.
Oh, true.
Oh, there you go.
Who knows? You're probably going to be the first one.
Well, congrats, guy who doesn't.
Yeah, he doesn't.
speak.
He doesn't really say anything. He just kind of chuckles from time to time, even if something's not funny. I don't know. He seems nice enough, though. I don't feel threatened by him. I actually feel kind of safe.
What is your name?
Just for the record, he did crap his pants.
Yeah.
He
tell
dimed
I
you
believe
out.
it.
New guy dimed you out, man. Go change
Right.
your britches, bro.
It's because you got all that
Damn it.
that tar black coffee and it just ran right through you, huh?
You guys want to sign my PQS?
I mean,
I'm not qualified.
do we want to?
I don't think anyone's actually.
Yeah, I
qualified.
think you're
I'll
going to see like
scribble some
the
shit on there for you. I don't know what it's worth though.
Don't do it in pink crayon.
does
We'll sign it, but then I don't really. You'll have to come back for actual training, or we can just give you notes that we can send you on an email. That should be good enough.
I don't think there's a spot for us on there. Ours is like not. I don't know. Is there a Karen O on there?
No, but how are you guys standing this watch? You're not qualified.
Well,
I don't think it's technically a watch that they're standing. They just work in the space.
yeah. This is our job.
This is what we do.
Well, mine and his, not those two.
No, we just kind of come down here and fuck off from time to time.
Seriously,
Pretty cool
about
though,
that smell,
right?
though.
It's not like anywhere else on this Taz thing. Very eclectic in here.
Did you just say eclectic?
I did.
Do you know what
Do
that
you need
means?
to look that up?
I don't know what that means.
Okay.
So, along with nepotism
I
and
think
eclectic,
at this point we need to start assigning him homework, and then he has
A
5
word-
days to look it up.
A word a day in the dictionary.
I don't think it should be homework. How
Use it in
about
a
we just
sentence.
how about we just make it into something where Leon teaches me a new word every day?
yeah, because clearly homework is something he did not do,
Yeah, right.
and
That's
foreign
why I'm in the U.N.A.S. That's why I
fair.
didn't go to the week and a half long academy that your Karen did.
8 weeks.
Speaking of,
She's just
you
on
see
top
her
of it.
new haircut?
It's fucking great.
Oh,
Oh
man.
man,
Classic Karen, I tell you what.
Oh, and the funny part of it is like, okay, we got into it a little bit. She was complaining about not being able to get into the shop yet, even though it's been 2 weeks. We told her it was going to take at least 7, and then she was like, "Well, this is bullshit. Let me speak with your manager, ma'am. It's you. You're my supervisor." And she's like, "Well, that's unacceptable," and walked off.
To do what?
I don't know. That
She,
was
like,
just today.
Go yell at herself?
Maybe
in the
she
mirror?
yelled at herself in the mirror.
fill out a complaint form online.
Did she ask for a discount on her next return?
I don't know. I hope not.
Did she have fuzzy boots on?
I don't know. She had her coveralls on, so I didn't see the top of her boots. But anyways, eclectic. It's your new word to look up.
I already forgot it. I'll be honest with you.
I just told you.
I can understand.
Eclectic.
Yeah, where did this stuff come from? Did she bring it in here? Because it looks like it's all Chip and Joanna.
It does
It's
look a little
definitely
more girly in this
Target
place.
items.
Well, we've been allowed to let her in, and as soon as she walked in, it was like
What do you mean?
she just brought in all this crap. You see it.
Lots of-
I will say it does smell nicer in here.
Lots of shiplap looking things in here.
Shiplap?
You don't know what shiplap is? Sounds like you have another word to look
I
at.
have no idea.
Even
what
the
shiplap
new
is.
guy knows what shiplap
man, you're
is.
ripping on him pretty good, but you still haven't told us your name.
Yeah, what's your name? I've asked him like 6 fucking times today, and he still hasn't answered.
So you brought him here to the shop, but you don't know who he is
Yeah, why did you do that?
He followed me.
We'll just call him
for PQS
Guy.
this late at night. You thought that was smart?
I mean, it's not like he's like following me down here to rob me or something.
Well,
Well,
you wouldn't be
not
able to
in Maine
defend
anymore.
yourself if we were in Texas.
Fair
You would
enough.
have to run.
Yep.
That's fair.
Excuse me while you rob my house. I'll
Defense
just go.
does not necessarily mean a retaliatory action.
Oh, is he
Defense
doing the
a
whole run, hide, fight
protection
talk
for
with you
yourself.
guys?
Yep.
Dude, we had this conversation last week. He told me that he thinks that we shouldn't even be allowed to legally own guns. If we were to take away the legal right to own guns, then the criminals wouldn't have them.
Yeah, that totally makes sense because they haven't tried to do that for 20 years now.
Yeah.
That's not entirely what I said.
What did you say?
What I said was that I understand that there are laws, and while it should be permissible, perhaps a large tax or something that the government could do to earn a little bit more profit for themselves to basically give it back to us as the people, it could be applied elsewhere. If that money was applied to other types of programs or community things, then perhaps maybe there'd be more sense of community and we wouldn't need guns.
Man, it must be nice to live in this like perfect universe you
What
have
is
in your
this
head.
tax you're talking about?
I just think if it's highly, highly expensive to own a weapon, then
Only the rich will have them?
only the
The tyrants?
no, like that is their hobby. You dedicate a lot of money to your hobby, but it wouldn't just be like a free for all. Not everybody drives, a large Edison car. It becomes a small, unique community.
Are you also one of those people who thinks that the Second Amendment only applied to like old school rifles from like the Civil War?
I mean, it was drafted at that time. It's kind of self-explanatory, is it not?
So like a magazine of over 10 rounds, you would say is like not applicable.
Why would it be? That's what I don't understand. How many times are we going to have this conversation? You're trying to get me riled up.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, you and Douglas are always getting on me about this stuff.
I'm
You
just saying,
don't get
over
it.
10 rounds.
So should I only have like a flintlock musket? Is that?
I'm saying that if I'm going to settle a dispute with my neighbor, I'm going to load up a fucking cannon and shoot a warning shot across his bow.
Speaking of the Second
Chain shot.
Amendment,
I have a blunderbuss.
have y'all seen that meme floating around the interwebs that said, women if they can time travel, and it's got a picture of a woman and a younger woman? He's like, you're my granddaughter? And it's got a picture of a man going back to when the amendments were signed, and he says, hey, you might want to throw in their barrel length, magazine capacity, automatic, semi-automatic. Trust me, bro, it'll matter in a couple of years.
Right.
I mean, the very open-minded person like myself can see the humor in that. That's pretty funny. So I'm willing to consider other points of view, but in this instance, you guys are just, sorry to say it, you're flat out wrong. I don't understand.
I believe that
Where
everybody's
you're-
opinion is valid and can be validated,
Not
but
any of ours.
they're just all wrong.
So what Chris actually told me
When
the other
two
day, and
children-
he's been afraid to say,
No,
is
listen.
he said that if you own a gun, you're obviously an expert with it. If you can't kill with one shot, then obviously you're not good enough. You don't need more than one round
Right.
with your gun.
Exactly. Thank you. Yes. You need the requisite training. If two children fight in a schoolyard
Shotgun it
and
is.
one hits another one with a stick, right? You don't just take away that one stick. You remove all the sticks on the playground. You don't want the children to hurt each other.
So now you want to remove trees.
I just feel like if we
Well, I'm saying
start
is, like,
in school and teach proper conflict
oxygen
resolution,
giving trees because two kids got into a fight with a stick.
you don't remove the tree. You just remove the sticks. But
So you don't
can
remove the
teach them
guns.
proper techniques to talk it out.
Right?
I think what he's saying is you do a FOD walk down.
What
in the
about
playground
martial
and
arts
pick up all
then?
the sticks.
Do we not teach people martial arts then? Because that gives one person an advantage over another.
That
Or do we teach
that
everyone
teaching
martial
has
arts?
become a hobby of only a small population, thus limiting the access. It's not taught for everybody. So
But that
thank you.
then-
You just validated my point of view.
But that then gives them an advantage over everyone else.
Yes, but they're also disciplined enough to know that there is only a right place at the right time, and they just don't use it just because.
No,
They do it in demonstration purposes for sport, not just going and starting fights on the playground or meeting at the flagpole at 3 o'clock.
so what if I like to shoot guns for sport?
you're free to do that. You just should be required to pay an exorbitant amount of money, because that way it
Define
limits.
exorbitant amount.
Holy shit, you have a lot of words.
That
to look
one I
up.
fucking know. No. I know that one. I'm saying
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
define
Spell it.
what would be exorbitant to you. Are you talking like
Hey,
I don't
attacks?
know.
Is it exorbitant?
Are you
or
talking
is
that
it
ammo
exorbitant?
should be extremely expensive?
Yes,
What are
possibly,
you
but
referring-
listen, I am not
Still
the
think he
expert
needs
on
to
this.
look it up.
We have people in place that we have elected to make these decisions for us, because they know more than I do
Yeah,
on these facts.
But President Quest dropped the price of everything because he thinks everyone should be able to be free. Like, I bought a box of 59 mil rounds for like $2 the other day. It's fantastic.
Here's what
It's
I'm
never
getting
been better.
out of this. So next time a person tries to burgle my home, I'm going to stop them at gunpoint, and I'm going to give them your address and be like, this guy will let you come take his shit. Have fun.
It's like when you drive by someone's house and you see a sign in their front yard that says, "This home is gun free."
Oh yeah.
What the fuck are you doing?
Remember New York a few years ago when they listed all the homes of gun owners?
Yeah.
What do you how do you think the non-gun owners felt about that?
It is a testament to their character that they can be open and free in society enough to know that this place is genuinely good. You laugh about a utopian society, but the fact is, the old adage of "can't we just get along" is real. It takes a village. That's all I have to say.
There's a lot of proof that says that we can't.
Takes a
just
village
get
to
along.
raise an idiot.
It takes a village that we all have the responsibility to work together, and we can't do that when staring at a small black circle staring at you in the face. We work together.
Wait.
Strive together.
Say that again.
What part?
The
small black circle.
Go ahead.
In your face.
Okay.
You cannot talk it out.
Okay. So when that criminal shows up and shoves it in your face,
Fight, flight,
but you can't.
Or
You
freeze.
just said it.
because you should be listening to their
But
demands
you don't want
and
to fight.
protecting your family by giving him the stuff he's seeking.
But you don't want to fight. You just said fight, flight, or freeze.
Well, I'm certainly going to argue.
But you
with him.
cannot fight.
I would
So-
love to know what the Karen O would think of this conversation, because I bet you she has a very passionate response.
I don't even know if she knows what guns are.
So what you're saying is next time
She shouldn't be allowed to own one yet because she's not even that old.
when someone breaks into my house next time, I should sit down with them. Since it takes a village, I should sit down with them and have an intervention and
Excuse me,
teach
sir.
them right
I
from
think
wrong.
it
Haven't-
starts from
haven't-
everybody, because that should
Let's
have
talk
happened
about where you
long
went
ago.
wrong in life.
Haven't you ever heard the song "Ain't No Rest for the Wicked"? Like, you're supposed to talk to them, right?
Yeah, I guess so. It'll be more like them crying and me talking to them about where they fucked up
You
in their
guys,
life.
it sounds like to me you guys are just too close-minded to even consider the possibility of this conceptual idea to become a reality. If
Chris
we just
told me-
applied a little bit of action, we could.
I basically told
But how's
Chris,
that my responsibility? It's his parents' responsibility.
It's everyone's responsibility to come together, realize that guns are not the answer, and that if there would be no reason to have burglaries if we just
Gave our stuff freely to everyone that asked for it.
So I had
Yeah,
this
it'll, like,
conversation with
even
him
it out.
recently, and he said,
There
with
won't be
what
so
you were
many
saying,
waves.
right, with shooting him, he said that at the end of the day, if you were to shoot that person, you value your things more than that person's life.
Absolutely.
And that
He's
you are,
willing
it's
to
material.
and
break into
you
my
are
house.
looking for an excuse to kill someone.
If he breaks into my house, he values his life over me and my family's.
I think he values your stuff over his life.
But like
He values
the representative or senator said, that is a protection for his life. So there's this,
So
before
he's-
even walking into
like
the
you just said-
situation, he knows I value mine.
So it's okay
But
for
it doesn't
him to
matter.
I
have
know
a gun,
he
but not
values
me.
his. No, it's not
is
okay,
okay.
for him. It's not okay
That's
is
what I
for
okay.
anybody.
It's okay for him to value his life over yours and your stuff.
I think there's a mutual understanding that we each understand each other values their life. What we have to agree on is that we also value each other's lives. Thus, saving us both.
Maybe the easy answer is to just release a Roomba with a fucking claymore on it. And just, you stay in your room, and he has a very clear indication of a threat coming at him. He has the choice to leave.
I feel like I'm being ganged up on right now. So if we could actually turn the conversation, we can talk about
what would you like to
Roombas.
turn the conversation towards?
I'll
Roombas?
take your advice, Chris. I'll just let my dog fucking tear him up. I won't shoot him with a gun.
There you go.
Because my dog's an animal. You can't control what animals do.
That's
Well,
fair.
there's a animal instinct there, right? The dog
Yep.
can't be blamed for their biological predispositions.
To protect his family.
Biological predispositions.
I need a break.
That
So
was
let me
pretty
ask
good.
you. So, how about this situation? Somebody breaks in your house. You said that there's fight, flight. What was the other one?
Freeze.
Freeze. All three of those can result in you dying, right? All three of them.
2/3 of them
All
result
of
in
them.
my safety.
No, it doesn't.
You're
If
not
you get
allowed to
all-
shoot somebody
You're
in the
not.
back. If I'm
Yeah,
running
you-
away
you wholeheartedly can pull a trigger and a bullet flies through the air.
with proper training
shoot
and gun
somebody in the
discipline, he knows to shoot center mass.
So that
If
criminal.
I am fleeing the scene, there is no reason for him to shoot me.
You're right.
There's no
He
reason.
has the justifications
And
for
just
deadly
because
force.
you give him all of your stuff, you give the criminal all your stuff, doesn't mean that they're not going to shoot you anyways. Because you can identify them.
No, but I'm sure it greatly increases the chances of them saying thank you.
Oh,
They'll,
okay.
they'll
Out of the
obviously
kindness of
they'll
their heart.
obviously be
Thank
thankful.
you for letting
Make
me
them
burgle
some
you
coffee
today.
while they're fucking robbing your house.
You guys
Hey, would
need
you like a
anything?
couple- you want cream and sugar?
I have
with
some
that?
Voss water.
I'm not saying I wouldn't be afraid or scared in that situation. I'm sure I'll be on edge and adrenaline is pumping, but
So, but you
Look.
know how you'll react in that situation because you've been in that situation before, correct? That's what you're saying.
I'm saying that there's a
That-
66% chance of I know how to handle it properly.
You're saying
Either-
there's 66% chance of a decision, but you've never been in that situation.
Okay?
So how do you know?
I don't
How can you know anything about yourself if you've never been in a fight?
What I'm saying is clearly I am more open-minded than you guys.
Clearly.
that
No.
I-
Have you ever been in a fight?
No.
So how do you know?
I
You've
know
never
because
been in
I've
a
had
situation.
people raise their voice at me before,
Oh.
but I remove myself from the situation.
Okay.
I
There's
find a
Snowflake,
space-
You got yelled at.
A
No,
safe
I'm-
space?
I found no, it's not a say. You guys are really listen. I am getting angry
Tell
right
you what,
now.
Obviously, this isn't his safe space
I am
anymore.
going to go and
Get
get my
sodas.
frescas.
Get soda. Oh, frescoes sound amazing right now.
Actually, that
Well,
sounds
you guys
phenomenal.
What I'm trying to do is when I return with these frescas, maybe that is me
We'll
reaching
leave
out
you
with an
alone.
olive branch,
We'll leave
right?
you
And we can. It's late enough where I'm willing to go to bed, but I don't want to leave angry.
Okay.
I'm more considerate for
Okay.
other people's beings. So for the mental health of myself and for you, I'm gonna go right now. Take my time coming back.
Yeah,
Okay.
can you write your address down for me before you leave?
Go make frescoes.
We haven't home port shifted yet, so I don't know.
Go make frescoes. All right, before he walks back in here, guys, should probably give him a break. You know how he is. He gets super pissy.
His cheeks got very red.
Redder. But, it is what it is. I'm just,
I just love getting him riled up so much. It's so much fun.
It was entertaining.
God,
Huh.
I do it every day. Every day.
I could see why he was so angry.
Well, you get him going on some of his conspiracy theories, too. Ask him about the flat earth thing.
Which is really
He's a flat
weird, because
earther.
that wasn't even a conspiracy, and he was getting super heated. That's not like him.
But you get him with the flat earth conversation?
Okay. Maybe. Anyways.
Hey, what's up?
Oh.
Here you go.
Oh,
Here you go.
Oh, baby.
Here you go.
Thanks, guy.
Give it a.
God, these things are good.
so
All right.
much.
Well, seeing how none of you guys
Oh!
will sign my PQ.
Jesus
PQ
Christ,
this
he's still
guy?
here?
I'm
Oh,
out.
he's still here.
Bye.
Wait, what do you mean you're out?
Bye.
And he's gone.
Okay.
That was
Now I don't even know if he likes it.
awkward.
But I was thinking while I'm gone, is I just got these last week. Why is it my turn again?
because you get the best drinks.
And you wanted to leave.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
left.
you literally said, "I'm
Because
gonna walk away."
You were
No, I
getting
didn't.
you were getting angry at the conversation we were having, so you left to go get drinks.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
100%.
You were actually very angry.
I'm just surprised
No,
because
I'm
me
not.
and you have talked about some of that stuff before.
Do I
and
seem-
you had wildly different answers.
Do I seem angry right now?
No,
like
you
I'm
don't.
fine. Right. So
Yeah.
what are you
It was a good break
guys-
for you. I'm glad you're not angry.
Yeah, that's not something to get angry, heated up over.
No,
Yeah.
we're all friends here.
Yeah, so if you want to maintain a friendship, you never talk religion or politics.
Yeah, that's why we don't.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So what do you?
So I don't know how we got into it, but we're all friends here.
See, I think the exact opposite. We should have the in-depth conversations because we are friends. We're bigger people than that.
Yeah, it was just something that my grandfather told me. So
I mean, he should have known better than to talk to a former Marine about things gun-related and try
Yeah.
to defend it.
yeah.
anyways, so we had talked about a utopia being where we wanted to go in life. And I found an interesting thing the other day. It was Paul Amadeus Dainit or something like that. So this is like in the 20s or something like that. And this guy was in a coma.
Is this
And
a story or like a video or?
Like fact.
it was one of the things I listened to, and they were talking about it. And I thought it was really, really interesting. Back in the 20s, he fell
What
into
do you
a
mean
coma.
you listen to it? I'm sorry, cutting you off. Like a podcast or something?
Yeah, you guys know what a podcast is.
Did you
Yeah.
like and subscribe
I
to
mean,
it?
I know what one is, but I
this
don't.
is one I do like subscribe to. So she was
Makes
talking
you a
about.
good listener.
I don't.
You guys
know.
shut up so I can tell my damn story. He fell into a coma for a year, and in that year, he was in the future. He was in another person's body. It was 1922 when he fell into the coma, and he woke up in 3902 or something like that.
That's a while.
Yeah,
Jesus.
to the point where we were talking about guns and stuff like that earlier. He focused on learning about what happened in the past, and there was a big nuclear fallout. Well, we all fear. I think they even make video games about this. It destroyed much of the population. Because of that, a new society was born where we're all one big utopian society. How they pay for all this is there are certain cities set up around the world where you work for 2 years, and in those 2 years you make enough money to live the rest of your life and not have to do anything. So I thought it was kind of interesting that born out of a big nuclear war is this utopia where we focus on spiritualism and all that. It was an interesting story if you guys ever look it up.
But is it a story or is this like a documentary?
Historical.
Yeah, so how it
Podcast.
came about known is when the Paul Amadeus guy, woke back up.
So this was like his dream for months.
Yeah, he was in a coma for a year and then spent a year in the future. He woke back up, and before he died, he wrote all this stuff down in his journal and gave it to his best friend. His best friend took it, held on to it for like 50 years, and finally released it. I think it was called Valley of the Roses. And it was released at a very bad time. So they, like the church or whatever, banned it and never got published. And then it got republished. Writer-director guy took it and made something with it. But I only just heard about it, and I'm kind of interested in hearing like what that whole thing was.
Was there a movie or is it like still?
Again, I don't know. This came of late in like 70s and 80s, I think.
You want to know how I think we will end up in a society like that? It'll be because of aliens.
I could see that.
Like Independence Day, like come and destroy us, but then what remains, we all learn how to get along.
Well, either that or we realize that everything most people believe is complete bullshit once aliens are just have let themselves be known.
I say that if the aliens come and we have to give someone up as tribute, we give up Leon. Because he will be able to satisfy the female aliens and have the new breed of children.
That was a lot lizard, not a reptilian.
Same shit,
It's all the same, right?
right?
Yeah.
Scaly. It was all scaly.
Oh,
But you got to think, we humans as a race for our entire existence, have believed we are the only creatures in the entire universe.
Yeah, that's true.
And once it comes out that we're not, I think the human race will eventually unite because we're going to have to.
My Fresca.
Especially to advance as a race, we will have to unite.
Yeah, I agree that we would have to advance, but I still believe that, because even if you look at smaller societies, there's always segregation.
And conflict.
Yeah, and conflict. Even in Easter Island, they had 2 tribes on that island, that tiny island, and there was the long ears and the short ears, and there was no intermixing between the 2 tribes, even though they were
just call them?
basically
Long ears and short ears?
Yeah, I don't know what the tribe names were called, but if you look at what the distinguishing factor, because they looked identical, one tribe gauged their ears and the other tribe did not, and that was their distinguishing factor. So I think, yes, we would have to come together in a sense that we'll never advance until we do it, but I'm not sure that will ever happen, because I think it's just in our DNA to find something.
I mean, I understand what you're saying about 2 tribes on a small island going to war with each other, but that's where you're not thinking outside of Earth. So take Earth is one of those small tribes on an island. We're just in this quadrant of the galaxy and this quadrant of the universe, and say there's another alien race on another planet. That's who we're going to have our problems with. So Earth would be that small little tribe where we all have to come together.
So you're saying like the human race is the human tribe?
Yes.
I could see
And
that
all
if
of our
you had a
conflicts.
common enemy off
Yeah,
planet. I
that's
could see that.
the point about the 2 tribes, is that yes, aliens could come in and blow our minds and no, we're not the only ones out there, and that would be amazing at first, but then look at, I mean, what do we have to go off? We have to
Christopher Columbus.
Yeah, we have to go
Or
off movies
what was that
and
guy's
TV
name?
shows.
The
Look
other
at
one, Cortez.
Yeah.
When he landed in Mexico.
or Star Trek. You know, there was always somebody to fight, whether it be the Romulans or what's the other one,
I mean, we know that the Carano would be a red shirt.
The Borg.
the Borg. So I like your idea of us coming together, but we're still coming together over a common enemy.
Yeah,
And
like
that's-
once the enemy is gone, then what?
But once they make themselves known, they aren't gone. They're there.
Well, what I'm saying is, like, we will now turn our hate outward, and we may strive as a society, but
How wild would it be if you found out that, like, you know how you see in the tabloids all the time that there's, like, lizard people all over the world? Like, how wild would it be if we found out, like, President Quest was a lizard person? You know, like,
I
he
mean-
he just came out one day and was like, "Yep."
that's
And he was like, how would
Where
you
he licks his
respond?
own eyeball.
or they blink like in Men in Black,
Yeah.
Mhm.
the double blink. Yeah.
I do believe, this is just my personal belief, I do believe there are aliens.
Oh, 100%.
Do not, well, statistically, it is impossible for us to be the only life. in
Yeah,
the
you are
universe.
insane if you think that there's not something else. out
I
there.
think they're here on Earth. I just think they know that us as a human race are not ready them to make themselves known to us.
We'd have a fucking meltdown.
I think that there is already enough evidence in the world, whether you look at the cave drawings of the Sumerians with UFO shaped things that just, it makes no sense.
And every culture has it.
We have
Every
things
ancient culture.
that are thousands and thousands of years old, where it's like a battery pack that they dug out of a clay pot in Iraq, right? And we cannot, in today's world with our technology, duplicate what it is back then.
Like building the pyramids.
And we just wonder, well, like everything, like aqueducts, whatever, like how did they get the knowledge and technology to do such a thing? We can't even grasp the concept of how they achieved these goals.
What did
We
you
can't
call them,
do
by
it.
the way?
What?
The things that bring water from a far place into a city?
Aqueducts?
I thought it was aqueducts,
That's what I thought I heard.
but I was like, what is an aqueduct?
Are you
Aren't
guys
all ducks aqueducts? 'Cause
Are you
they
guys
are
familiar
on
with
water?
the
Awkward.
Mass Effect series for video
Yes.
games? So like I think like that concept is really interesting in the thought process that there is complete civilizations out in the universe that are aware of us and they're just like waiting for the right moment to invite us into like the rest of the universe. Like, hey, you guys have a spot now, and they're just looking at us like, hey, these dudes are not fucking ready.
Well,
to
that's
get
like a
invited.
really-
Congratulations, you have
initiation.
leveled up.
Yeah, there's even like in the Marvel movies when they opened the Tesseract for the first time and they said it. That's not just a conspiracy theory. That's us opening ourselves for the higher form of combat, like they said. But you're right. I think they're just waiting on us at this point to not be so stupid.
Yeah, you imagine
Well, I
that they're
think-
watching us and they're like, nope.
I
Give it
can't
another
believe
100
we
years.
created these assholes.
Give it another 100 years, maybe they'll be good. And then when we do get invited in, there's gonna be like alien species who have been around for like millions of years, and they're looking at us like we're a bunch of spoiled children. Like, oh god, we have to teach them space travel.
And then what if?
You know what I mean? They're like, oh,
Time leaps.
they've actually sent emissaries down for them to figure out if we're ready yet? And what do? We call
Kill.
them witches and burn them at the stake.
yeah, or shoot them out of the sky, or
Kind of reminds me of a movie.
I think that whether it
Mr.
started
Blood.
or not, like you said, right? I think that the government has already started to prepare us for that, because if you think about it, like we have all these photos that are taken out in space.
Taken out in space, photos taken here.
Well,
Yeah.
taken. So I mean, it doesn't matter where the photos are taken, but there's things that we're constantly learning and seeing, and then they're like, "Oh, this planet has water. Oh, we've discovered this small bacteria," right? But if we think about it, in the theory of evolution, we started as bacteria, so it's like just a little bit of knowledge bomb dropped on you. That's just enough for you to accept and not be scared about, and then that'll just slowly start the next thing.
well, that and
And,
like
in psychology, hypnotists and psychics, once you start nodding yes in agreement, it's easier. You're more susceptible to the next yes.
I think the biggest level of proof too is, are you familiar with the concept of like the technology boom?
Yeah.
Right, where
Like
like
the .com.
like with how
Every 10 years,
quickly
we double in our technology.
Well, and it was, but somewhere in the 17 or 1800s was when like the first real boom happened, when they were like, oh, something happened. And ever since then, like every 10 to 20 years, we just fucking explode with how much we're jumping
Giggity.
ahead in comparison to all previous civilization.
like
It's like,
SpaceX.
do you really think that someone wasn't there planting something for someone to find, to build off of? Like, think about even just the concept of electric cars. Like, to do what some of these companies are doing now, talking about it 10, 20 years ago, you'd be like, there's no fucking way. But someone somewhere found something that they built a schematic off of that was previously incomprehensible. And
Like
they're like, well,
rockets that
holy
land
shit, this
themselves.
actually makes sense now. There has to be something out there nudging in the right direction.
Well, I don't want to necessarily take away from our own smartness, because
You just did by calling it our own smartness.
that's fair. But I mean, like, I wouldn't necessarily attribute all of our advancement to somebody else holding our hand along the way.
No,
Because
but
we
it's
have
like
to
teaching your
accept-
kid math, and you nudge them in the right direction when they need it, and then they're like, oh, look, I learned this today. And you're like, yeah, well, you did 75% of it on your own, but that extra little poke.
But maybe, but at the same time, you also, if a kid is trying to learn a cartwheel, let's say, how many times you're going to let them fall until they are ready, and then you say, congrats, you just learned a cartwheel.
That's
'Cause
what
you wanna-
space travel is going to be for us. They figured out hyperspeed. Now it's time for us to go talk to them.
Speaking of, we're talking about aliens. I was watching a documentary the other day, and everyone knows what a red dwarf star is, right?
Yeah.
So they're saying on the documentary, they said that every red dwarf star in the entire universe has at least one planet orbiting it, and there is 100 billion million red dwarf stars in the universe. I mean, simple math says one of those has life on it,
If not all of them.
if not all of them.
Yeah.
But statistically, one will have life on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Hey.
statistically speaking, we can't always trust that, right? Because numbers can be manipulated, or else President Quest's re-election wouldn't have been disputed for so long.
Mm.
We just have to accept what it is, and right now we are the only life, I guess.
I think the thing that is
That's why
kind of
you can't
wild
trust
with the
those guys
government,
up top.
though, is that, like, think back 20 years ago, anything even UFO related, they're like, look over there, there's a squirrel. And now, like, people didn't even bat an eye when they're like, yep, here's a video and transmission of something we saw.
Here's
and
some
we don't know what
military
the hell it
footage
was."
of a UFO.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's
they're
what I'm
just like,
saying,
here
is
you
that-
go. And people
Yeah.
are like,
I like
Huh.
that they finally came out and acknowledged it from the government side that, yes, there is UFOs.
and somehow no one cared. They were just like, yeah.
Well, they
we've
don't
known
care
that the whole
now,
time.
right? Because think about this. Like, first off, this is why you can't trust the government. is because they hold on to information and think that what they're doing is best for us, like somehow we can't make these decisions for ourselves.
What do you mean? They're from the government. They're here to help.
Right, yeah.
Who
exactly.
are you? Right now?
Kind of like when the
You're
government
backstepping
tries to
a little bit for what you were
regulate
talking about earlier.
firearms and such.
What are you talking about? You've brought up guns like 3 times today. What's wrong with you?
Are you feeling all right, man?
I'm fine. What do you...
Anyways, continue.
Anyways,
Continue.
So, now I lost my train of thought.
Can't trust the government, blah, 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 blah.
They're withholding
I've always
information.
said that. I've always said that. So, if they're holding with information, but like I said before, first it's, hey, we found water. Life is viable. Then we find life in the version of a small bacteria that is not a threat to us humans. Then it's the old military releasing footage that they had saying, yep, here's something we're not sure about. What do you guys think? And everyone's like, oh my gosh, that's so crazy.
That's
and then
cool.
pretty soon, yeah, oh wow.
And then Xenomorphs.
I knew those movies are out there, but I can't imagine throughout the tenure of life that aliens and their aircrafts and all this is born out of pure imagination. I feel the same way about dragons. I think at one point in time, a dragon had to have existed.
They do still exist right now. Komodo dragons.
Yeah.
They just don't fly.
That's where you're right, buddy boy. Fucking
I will be
knowledge
quiet
dropped
now.
on you,
'cause
Chris.
I've been in school.
I know what you're talking about with the typical wing and fire breathing dragons, not the Komodo dragons.
Yeah, like, it's got to come from somewhere.
Yeah, most stories and stuff like that are because somebody saw at some point in their life.
That is the wild thing when you like look back in history at like completely opposite sides of the world, and like 2 different caves that have paintings in them, and they're all completely fucking different, but then somehow, some way, there's the exact same thing, and you're looking at them going, there's no possible way these 2 sides talk to each other.
Well, I also think that the human race is a lot older than they have discovered right now.
I'm pretty sure we're not the first. I don't think
It's just convenient that the Library of Alexandria got burned to the ground.
Maybe
Had all of
we
recorded human history in it.
maybe
supposedly.
we are the utopian society, but we just fucked it up.
What are you
Hey,
talking
there's a-
about? The library?
big.
The Library of
Possibility.
Alexandria.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
So it was a library in Alexandria, Egypt, back a long time ago, thousands of years
At least
ago.
the 70s.
Yeah, thousands of years ago,
Okay.
that supposedly had all of human recorded history in it, and it got burned down to the ground.
After they moved the stuff to the Vatican basements and didn't tell anybody.
Maybe. The Vatican wasn't even a thing when this got burned down.
Yeah, this was way before that.
Yeah, thousands of years ago.
What about the Order of the Assassins?
I mean, they would have been around.
There you
Yeah.
go.
But yeah, supposedly it had every piece of recorded human history in it.
That's wild.
But we won't know because it burnt out.
Supposedly.
Allegedly. That's good stuff.
Yeah. Very intellectual, very stimulating.
God, you've gotten so smart.
He has. It's made me smarter listening to him.
I feel like I've regressed slightly. You guys are using words around me sometimes, and I'm feeling slightly threatened by how often I hear a word that I don't know what it means, and he does. I don't
Well,
fucking
make sure you
like
just
it.
write it down and look it
I
up,
don't like it.
and then you'll know it.
This is all learning experience for
Yeah,
you.
do you know what nepotism is?
No, I still don't know what it is.
See, this is where you're messing up, is that we are using bigger words and you're not taking the initiative to learn these words. So this is on you now.
What is the word from today?
I don't remember.
Oh,
Eclectic.
Eclectic. No idea.
there was another one in there too. We'll let you figure it out though.
If only I had something I could listen back to.
I want you to
Do.
ask your watch. It might be happy to help you learn something new.
The watch is the one that set me crapping, so I don't think that's a good idea.
Plus, if it could record, I don't think it can record here in the Karen
Do.
space anyway.
No, I don't even
That's
know
probably
where
a
it would
safe
record.
assumption.
Yeah, I
Like,
don't
how
know
would it
either.
even record? That's nonsense. Get it out of your head.
Complete nonsense.
Shut this down.
Sounds like a conspiracy theory.
Yeah, they're probably recording us.
You're crazy.
No, they are not recording us.
Why are you being weird right now?
Just saying, they're not recording us.
That's probably the most aggressive you've been today.
I can be aggressive.
Well, I know there's other areas that they have like camera systems installed so that you can actually see personnel movements or status of maintenance or
Yeah, this is one of the few spaces I've seen that doesn't have a camera.
There will never be a camera in here.
The dumb one needs more punishment.
Yeah.
what
Why?
was it when you were working on your tools and their uses and you had to go down there and practice using a wrench?
Mm-hmm.
What was the purpose of those cameras? What did they tell you?
In case there's a fire, because it's an unmanned space.
That's fair. That makes sense.
Okay.
That's it.
A fire watch.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Save manpower.
there's
Don't-
also other sensors like fire sensors and stuff, but
Yeah. Don't they have the water mist system down there too?
Mm-hmm. But in my experience, we have all this technology. They still don't use it. They still just have people down there most of the time, which makes no sense. 'Cause
yeah.
what's the
So
point
it's
of
to
the
save
cameras?
manpower, but
We still use
don't
the
trust
manpower.
it. So use manpower that we don't have.
Yes,
You can't rely on the technology,
that's right.
but we're gonna build the entire concept around technology.
But we're gonna rely on a 18-year-old kid.
So it
nothing-
sounds like
nothing
Chris
beats
was
your
given a
eyeballs.
good idea and then decided to, no, it's technology. I don't like it. Are you in charge of these programs?
No, it sounds like the
Kinda sounds
most
like it.
optimal way to use Manny.
Is to not use the technology provided to minimize manning. One of my last commands before I came in to U.N.A.S.S, we were in the shipyards, and we were going to be in the shipyards for 9 months straight. And we failed a damage control exercise. And in order to fix the problem, we went into duty day, work day, duty day, work day. They used to call it port and starboard. So you were on watch or at work every single day. And
the beatings will continue until morale improves.
yeah, so, and that lasted for 2.5 months, I think. And
Sounds
then,
terrible.
Oh, it was. And it took us 2.5 months to, quote, get it right. And then we went to a 3-section duty rotation. And the relief going from 2 to 3 was like the biggest weight off your back. Even in our sections here, was 6 section, we still feel that we have a place to complain about a 6-section rotation. It's so funny because we haven't had the big hurt yet.
Keyword yet.
Yeah.
You never know how bad it can be till it's bad.
You guys think it's bad. Because we were in 6th section and we failed, going from 6 to 2 was like sweeping the leg.
It's funny that you say that. When once you go back and really get into the nitty gritty of it,
And it's an illegal kick to the face.
Daniel was the bad guy.
He really was.
Right. Like, have you ever
Johnny should have won that fight.
been in those situations where you have like the 6-day work week, you're in 3-section duty, but we have to do this, we have to get it done, that's just the way it is. And then you learn of another command that did the same thing but didn't go through all that, and they're like the magical unicorn of process. Like, it is feasible with the right positive motivation.
PMI.
But-
I'm a big proponent of PMI.
Isn't it PMA?
PMI. Positive mental attitude. Or PMA.
There you go.
Yeah.
I guess that
Wait,
wristwatch
what's
isn't working.
PMI?
PMI.
Positive mental intuition.
Imagination.
Imaging.
Hey, imagination.
But there are a lot of commanders
right.
out there that just treat it like, this is bad, but just understand if we can't get it right, it can get worse. And
Yeah.
it's like your fear of reprisal that keeps everything in check.
Yeah, we had,
Although we should not fear reprisal according to the training we receive.
it's true. Man, it is, it's been a night, guys.
Yeah. We went on a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Of emotion.
I am freaking tired.
Yeah. Booyah, sleep.
Alright, see y'all later then.
Yeah, man.
Later.
Try to figure out who you are and come back.
What are you talking about?
Go see Bills.
We'll tell you about it tomorrow.
U.N.A.S. Midwatch stars Robert Williams, Chris Sharp, Andrew Mingione, and Chris Short. Logo created by Natascha Mingione. Special guest, the guy with no name, played by Derek Morris. Thank you for listening to U.N.A.S. Midwatch.